So what are the different kind of profiles available out there? I'm only talking about a business house now, right? So a typical company which is either a manufacturing or a trading or a services company. I'm not really talking about banking and financial services because this training is much about understanding a business finance role. How do you attend finance roles which have interaction with the business teams, basically, right? So within a typical business house, if it's depending on the size of the organization, there could be hundreds of different kinds of profiles out there. But for the sake of convenience and for you to get good clarity, I've tried to fit them into three broad buckets. And now, what are those three different kind of buckets? First one is your financial reporting or the compliance bucket. Second one is business finance or finance business partnering or financial planning and analysis. And then you have your specialty finance functions. I'll tell you what specialty finance function is in a second. Financial reporting and compliance roles basically focus on your accounting, compliance, reporting, taxes, and all of that. So this is where you deal with all the financial statements, notes to accounts, accounting entries, JVs, audits, statutory compliances, taxes, consolidation, regulatory reporting, and all of those things fall under this bracket, right? The financial reporting and the compliance bracket, right? Then there is a second bucket, which is about management reporting or supporting the business on commercial stuff like contracts and all of that. Then supporting the business, basically. So what are included in these kind of roles? They typically include all the FP&A stuff like budgeting, forecasting, different kind of analysis like revenue analysis, why some territories or branches have done higher revenue, why they have done lower revenue, cost analysis, margins, profitability. There could be hundreds of different kinds of profitabilities prepared within a company. Could be customer level, product level, branch level, territory level, division level, strategic business unit level. So there could be a number of different kind of profitabilities prepared in a company. Management commentaries. Typically, after a month close, you want to prepare kind of a flash report or a commentary to the management to give the reasons for the variances, whether sales have gone up, sales have gone down, costs have gone up, costs have come down, how are the gross margins going, how is the net margin doing, what kind of discounts did we give this month, what is the profitability for the month. All of those things, the reasoning for variances are captured in the monthly commentaries. So FP&A is basically involved in this. Then you have your working capital management, managing the debtor cycle, managing the vendor payment cycle, reaching out to banks, getting your credit line. All of those things fall under the working capital management. Then you have CAPEX, preparing CAPEX approvals, doing feasibility studies, and all of that fall under the CAPEX role. Then you have your contracts. Usually, finance function works closely with the sales team or the business team to help them with contracts, because most of the times, if typically if it's a service company or a project-based kind of a company, then you need to be involved actively when the contract is being signed with the client, because there could be some terminologies which the business guys might not understand, but the finance guys will be easily picking those up. Then you have pricing, right? Let's say there is a customer who has come up with a response, a request for proposal, and you have to now bid for that project. So in this case also, you will understand the resourcing requirements and come up with a pricing of the product, and then or pricing of that service or the contract, and then help support the business team to bid for that project. So you will actively get involved in pricing as well. Recharges. This is basically where either one group company, or one of the divisions in a company incurs some of the common expenses, and this common expenses is then recharged to the different business units or different group companies. So that is recharges. So these are all the things which are covered in this bucket. Now, typically, you are comfortable with the first bucket, that is the financial reporting compliance bucket, because your chartered accountancy or any of these qualifications, give you sufficient exposure to these. Now, this is something which needs to be picked up on the job. This is something which you need to. There are no courses for this. To some extent, MBA might touch on some elements because of their case study approach, but largely you will pick up all of these on the job itself, and chartered accountants are expected to do it. Then you have a third bucket, that is the specialty finance function. These are some of the expert tasks. Now, these are largely very different tasks and not really related to each other, but they could be very specialized or something very specific. For example, managing treasury or banking. To give you an example, the treasury team in Bharat Petroleum manage 19,000 crores of payments every day. Right now, that's a specialized treasury management role. Forex management, again, 80% of the crude oil which Bharat Petroleum was procuring was actually being imported. So you needed to make a lot of foreign currency payments. So there again, forex management was something very specialized. Mergers and acquisitions, fundraising, or corporate finance. Then investment management. If your company has a lot of surplus cash, then you need to invest it and manage that investment actively as well. Structured finance, again, to give you an example, structured finance operates at a very large global company where the company decides and evaluates that by shifting or by slightly moving operations from one country to other, how much tax can we save? Like, for example, the average tax rate in Singapore would be between 8 to 10%, as opposed to that in UK, it would be 30 to 40%. So sometimes some companies do a massive exercise to entirely shift their parent company or restructure in such a way that they become a Singapore-based entity over a UK-based entity, with which they are able to effectively save a lot of tax on the ultimate profits that they make. Right. So that is structured finance. Again, very interesting, but a very specialized field. Strategy, you might get involved in strategy as well, or strategic decision making. Supply chain finance, over the last decade, it has emerged as a new finance function. Project finance, project based, like where you are only taking care of a specific project and its finances. Then again, there are technology profiles, like you could be an SAP expert, or you could be a BI tool expert, business intelligence tool expert, or you could be an Oracle expert, or a Hyperion expert, which is a tool used for consolidation of accounts. All of these things are, again, you can select a technology profile. If you're somebody who's inclined towards technology, if you like working with technology, or like solving complex problems with technology, then maybe these kind of profiles are for you. So this is largely what happens in a business house, and what are the different kind of roles available out there.